Hello, my name is Shelby, and I am reviewing the book Mere Christianity by C.S. Lewis. And I really enjoyed this book, actually. I found it very helpful with my spiritual formation journey, and I hope that this helps you, this review helps you. And anyways, let's get started. Okay, so in the beginning, we have to show that we read it. So here is the... Alright, there we go. Says the thing of the ebook. It was cheaper that way, so that's why I did it. So this book is focused in 3 parts. It's aimed at focusing on common ground rather than infighting or controversies, and I found that that's what the author focused more on. The common ground, the common thoughts of Christianity rather than things that were more difficult to talk about or caused controversy. It was more focused on the foundational. That was the beginning of the book, was more focused on the foundational teachings of Christianity, things that we pretty much learned in the beginning but really do need. Let's see. He kind of focused on a case of moral and scientific law and compared the two, which I found really interesting and helpful. And so I enjoyed that part of it. Let's see what else. He kind of compared moral law and scientific law in how there are certain foundational things that we need for our bodies, like such as water or food, that give us strength and life. And in that sense, we also need clarity and God. And God gives us those things, and without those things, our moral life is very weak. Let's see. Lewis then spends much of the rest of the time in the first and second part of the book going over different views such as pantheism and atheism. This is where he introduces the Lewis trilemma, which is where Jesus was either truthful in being God or lying, or he believed he was God, but that he was that he just wasn't. And so Lewis basically goes into pretty much he basically lays out the case that the latter two are not in God's character, and so that it is more likely that the first is true, which is why that is now called Lewis's trilemma. Let's see what else I got. In this book, Lewis lays out the case that it is, in order to understand Christianity as a whole and faith, you must understand morality. So the moral logic and moral case needs to be understood in order to understand overall Christianity, which I completely related to and very much understood and enjoyed from this book. One moment. Let's see what else I have. The next part of the book overviews into ethics and morals that come from Christianity. He goes over multiple virtues, going into each, such as justice, prudence, hope, faith, and more. Lewis then goes into explain his view and his viewpoints of morality, having 3 layers that have to do with like the human-to-human relationship, and then the intent behind those relationships, and then the human and differing worldviews between humans. And so I enjoyed that very much so. He then goes on to over multiple areas such as pride and sexual morality and more, and how those issues can varying degrees impact our faith, and our faith can either go into siding into certain ways if we let those paths differ. He ends the book by speaking about love and how we must love each other and ourselves fully in order to fully have spiritual formation. I enjoyed that very much. We must, the 2 things that I took away from this was we must fully understand morality to understand Christianity and to grow in our spiritual formation, to grow with Christ. And then the second thing that I took was we must love each other and ourselves in order to fully grow with Him. And so those are the things that I understood and that I enjoyed. And I hope that this helped you as well. Thank you.